Hello everyone, Martin here, playing another Legacy League with Doomsday. Today, trying something really fun. We got Ragavan here, so in spite of my predictions last video that I wasn't going to splash to try Ragavan out, I ended up doing so. And I've been sort of tweaking around with a couple of different lists. One was sort of the turbo list that I've been playing lately, where I found 4 cards to shave to put in for Ragavan. So that was like, I cut, I think, 3 Preordain and a discard spell. And that was fine. I'm still not sure. That's sort of the first thing to say. I don't really know one way or the other if Ragavan has a home in Doomsday. And in the turbo list, it was, I don't know. I think maybe the upside was too small. I'm not sure. But maybe. And so this is a more, I think, exciting list. This list has me more excited. I don't know if it's going to be good enough. Played like 2 leagues. One I 0-3'd, dropped. That was really awkward. And one I 4-1'd, where I was 4-0, riding the lightning, hoping to 5-0, and then lost last match. So anyways, and now I'm playing another league. So we'll see. The premise of this deck is to have sort of the bare essentials in terms of the Doomsday combo. So we have the Dark Rituals and the Doomsday, obviously Thassa, and then we have an Ideas Unbound. Only 2 Petals, the Lion's Eye Diamond, and only 1 Cycler. So this version of the deck is going to turn 1, turn 2 significantly like fewer times than the turbo list I've been playing. The upside to that is that we get to play, well, Ragavan, which in a weird way is like a 1-card combo. And that is hyperbole for sure, but the reason I say it is it's a deck, it's a card that demands an answer from, I think, most of the format. There are a couple of decks that can probably, pretty much ignore him, like maybe like lands, though I'm not sure. But I know, like, playing Ragavan, there's not really a card you want from lands. But even like, no matter who the opponent is, just the fact that he generates a Lotus Petal every turn is like pretty good. But yeah, you get this sort of alternative axes that attacks the opponent. And so this is the card probably that sticks out the most. We have 2 Lightning Bolts in the main deck. It's just really, really good to have some way to remove a creature to get Ragavan to connect. And at least that's what I found. And I wanted the 4 bolts in the 75, and just like juggling sideboard slots and main deck slots, I ended up with 2 in the main deck. It might be wrong, it might not be, we'll see. So the plan against, in particular, Delver, but also against, that's my plan anyways, against like the Jeskai Ragavan standstill deck, is to bring in these 13 cards. And so we shave the 4 Dark Rituals, we shave the Doomsday, we shave the Ideas Unbound, and the artifacts. How many is that? 3, 7, 11, 12, and I think the Pact as well. So that's 13 cards. That means we get to keep Thassa as a 1/3 pseudo scry that like trades with opponent Ragavan. And yeah, like, the downsides to this list, like on a surface level, is that we are weaker to combo because we don't have the Pact of Negations in the sideboard. But But I think in a more nuanced way, we are weak to really fast combo, like weaker. We still have like two Thoughtseize, main deck Flusterstorm, and the 4 Daze and the 4 Force of Will. Um, it's not terrible, but it's just like we don't really have anything to bring in against like ultra fast combo. Against like the mirror against show and tell, we at least we get these 3 blasts to bring in, and like Ragavan against the mirror and show and tell is pretty good. If it gets to connect, it starts like, you hit opponent discard spells, you hit cantrips. It's just like that's at least a compensation for not having like more counter stuff to bring in. Got the Shelldock Isle and the Emrakul in the sideboard for Bant, though I think I'm getting close-ish to the point where I want to at least reconsider if this is the correct call. Been speaking to Doishi a bit from the Doomsday Discord, who is on second Oracle in the sideboard for the same, to solve the same problem. And we had a good discussion about that. I think probably I prefer these 2 cards still over the second Thassa's Oracle +1 free sideboard slot, though the free sideboard slot is pretty sweet. But I'm not sure, and I do also think it's worth noting that at the end of the day, if this is only for Bant Miracles, maybe there are better ways to spend the sideboard slots. I'm not sure. Or, I mean, let me rephrase that. This is pretty much only for Bant Miracles or Bant control decks, but if Bant Miracles is not going to be like a significant and pretty big part of the meta, then, we should be reconsidering it. And right now, I'm not sure. I don't seem to be facing it that often, but yeah, we'll see. All right, on the play for round number 1. Yeah, let's see how we do. This is one of the folks from the Doomsday Discord, so I think they probably are on Doomsday. So I'm gonna keep this. This is a good Doomsday hand. Gonna go for a turn 1 here with Daze backup. All right, so let's draw Thoughtseize, and then we go for a Brainstorm pile that wins with like Street Wraith, Lineside Diamond, and Thassa. And then if we get discarded and stuff, we will go for the Cavern of Souls at the end of the day. Or maybe not. Like if they discard us turn 1, I think I'm gonna Daze. But that also sort of mucks us up a bit. So Thassa's Oracle, Lineside Diamond. No, actually. Street Wraith first, then Lineside Diamond. Then Thoughtseize. I think combo mirrors are, in general, they tend to not be my favorite thing because a lot of the time they can just be like someone has it on turn 1 kind of thing. I think Doomsday's, I think like that's how I felt with Storm Mirrors anyways when I was playing Ad Nauseam Tendrils. I think probably Doomsday's a bit more sort of interesting. Because there is a whole like, because both decks have counter spells. Okay, so they Brainstorm turn 1. Alright, so the plan here is that if they don't do anything else, we will like draw Thoughtseize, play Badlands, and cast Thoughtseize off of Badlands, and then hopefully be able to win with the Brainstorm. Okay, so they have Petal. So Petal means our Daze is sort of dead. But hopefully we're still, like, if they have Force and Daze, it's a little bit annoying. So what do they have? Okay, so they have double Daze. Um, So the rest of our deck is like LED, Street Wraith, Thassa Oracle, and the Cavern. So that's 4 cards, right? So the next draw set will draw one of them. Brainstorm can draw a second. Then the Wraith can draw a third. So we need 2 draw steps more if we don't do anything here. So I think I'm gonna take Doomsday actually and just wait a bit. Okay, Flooded Strand, sure. Preordain. I mean, sure. I don't think that really changes anything for us. So they go top bottom. Brainstorm, sure. That's not great for us, but yeah, kind of have to hope they don't find a second Doomsday. Okay, so they pass. Okay, no, never mind. They play out the LED. So I'm gonna play out lines that I'm in 2. So I'm gonna pass here. I would kind of like to Brainstorm now because it's, well, I mean, before our next turn. Okay. Okay, so they're cycling through the cards that they were sort of Brainstorm locked. Alright, I'm gonna cast Brainstorm end of turn. I wonder if they decide to Daze. They would have to double Daze, which is not impossible. Okay, so let's, they didn't do that, so that should mean that we get to win. Because of the old Cavern. Cavern of Souls makes a very, very big difference in the mirror match, whether or not you have that in the main deck. Okay, they conceded, I think. Yep. GG. Alright, so now we have to decide what to do here. So we want the blasts. I kind of want the bolts because, like, it is Doomsday after all, right? I wonder if we want, like, Tombstalker. This may seem crazy, but I do kind of like the idea. Oops, don't want Emrakul. I kind of do like the idea of playing, like, a bit of a control, like. So we don't want the Pact. We don't want the LED. We don't want the Ideas Unbound. I think we can do without, like, a Petal. And probably, like, cut a couple of Dark Rituals. And what's the last card to cut? Actually, you know what? Let's cut a couple of Baleful Strix and add the Ritual and the Petal. Actually, I think I should be cutting Baleful Strix altogether. Yeah, no, I know what I was thinking. Baleful Strix is bad. Let's go like this. This way we can still go fast, but we can also go slow. All right. Yeah, I don't hate this hand. Like, we can't stop them from going turn 1 Doomsday if that's what they got, but this hand has legs. If we get into like turn 3 plus. Okay. So what do you take here if you're them? Do you take the Ragavan? Or one of the cantrips? Like, pretty much, like, I think every card in this hand is decent against Doomsday, so... Or at least, you know, has relevant text. Yeah, okay, they took the Ragavan. Let's go ahead and ponder here. So I will take the Scalding Tarn and then draw Ponder next turn. Yep. Right. Go ahead. So what do you take here? Brainstorm, I guess. Yep. Alright, well, I'm gonna fetch here because I don't want the second Dark Ritual. But I think I might just pass. That way, actually no, hang on. No, let's go ahead and cantrip here. It means that we can't Pyroblast and be Daze proof. I mean, yeah, let's do like, let's grab Daze, and then we get to Brainstorm next turn. Also don't mind getting the second Volk, in case we don't find a fetch. I think I'm actually going to cycle the Street Wraith here and draw the second Volk. I'm Brainstorm off of Volk. Okay, Pierce, sure. So we're kind of vulnerable to them going like Dark Ritual Doomsday here. Can't really stop that. There is Ragavan. Oh, do I dash him? Oh, jeez. Okay, I think I'm just gonna cast Old Raggy here to not have to commit 2 mana every turn. All right, let's see if they board in removal or what, or if they're just able to like combo off here. Sure. So Ragavan, one way to sort of combat Ragavan is to cantrip. So I think I'm gonna actually, like, the Preordain was okay, but the Ponder, there's just too big of a risk of them finding like 2 good cards and 1 bad, leaving the bad on top for me to Ragavan. Okay, so they Flusterstorm. Can't remember. They probably didn't know about the Daze, but I'm going to Daze the Ponder. It does leave us sort of a bit vulnerable to Doomsday, but I think like having the Bolt in hand plus whatever Ragavan gives us is probably going to be pretty good against whatever they got going on, so. Drawing land there was not hot. Let's see what he hits. Street Wraith. You know what? I am going to cast a Street Wraith. So I think pretty much that means they have to go Doomsday this turn. Okay, they Force of Will. Or they don't. Okay, they do. Force of Will, pitch Daze. Alright. So our we got to Dark Ritual into Force of Will. Ah, bummer. Brainstorm is good against Ragavan. Okay, they fetch, so disregard that. One card in hand. This is Doomsday. Looks like it. Alright, so unfortunately they're going to be at 6, not 5. They're going to put something on top of their deck that they are okay with us, like, taking with Ragavan. But I think we're probably still prized into attacking with him. It's a little bit sort of a funny game. But, I mean, we can draw a counterspell, or we can draw, like, any removal, not any, sorry, any like either of our last 3 remaining bolts, which would be kind of good. But we also have a lot of dead draws, so I don't know. Alright, let's have a look at their exile zone. They bring in blasts. They have 0 cards in hand. Let's see here. Force, Fluster, Force. Okay, so they put a Force of Will in the pile. Interesting. Might just... Or wait, did they? I'm missing one down here. 2, 3, 4. Never mind. Only 1, 2 Street Wraith. 3 Street Wraith. I'm not sure, right? Because this is post board. I'm guessing they're shaving. Well, they kept in the personal super interesting. How many days? 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 1 Thoughtseize, 2 Duress, 1 Pierce. Alright, well, we shall see. Oh, well, that just made it easy. Actually, hang on. Let's attack and see what's on top of their deck. See if they played around it. Probably Street Wraith. Yeah. Yeah, so you put Street Wraith on top in case the opponent doesn't attack, so you can cycle into what you want. Alright, so we take round 1 versus Doomsday. And that is, it is what it is. It can be a bit swingy. It's too early to tell for me whether or not we're actually at an advantage with this list, but having 4 lightning bolts in the mirror is pretty good. So there's that. Alright, I'll be back with round number 2. Alright, round number 2 on the play. Yeah, we'll keep this. Pretty interesting hand. If Ponder can find his Doomsday, that'd be pretty sweet. Gonna fetch out Volcanic here because we have the Dark Ritual. And it doesn't put us on Doomsday immediately. I think we shuffle this. And we draw Bold anyways. Portent. Okay, so this is like a Miracles type deck. Not really where I think Ragavan is going to excel, but I could be wrong. So it looks like they don't shuffle. Blue card or Doomsday. Okay. Get a blue card. So we can ponder and still hold up force. And there's Doomsday. Which I think we're going to just jam here. Yeah, we are. I was going to say we don't have Cavern in the main, but we do have Cavern in the main. And the question is, if they counter here, do we force to not lose a land drop, or do we Daze? I think we Daze. I think I don't mind taking it slow since we have the Cavern. Portent makes me think it's not, that it isn't a, like, Bant deck. Could be wrong, but they showed us Expressive Iteration here, so they're on red. Alright, so hopefully that means they don't have a way to beat Thassa through Cavern. So now we just got to get to it. So let's play Delta next turn so we can fetch the Volcanic. So draw step is 1 draw, Street Wraith is 1 draw, the fetch line is 1 draw. So next turn we'll be able to get 3 cards deep. So I think we just, like, we can take a Ponder. So let's say next turn we draw the Ponder. And we play the Polluted Delta. So now we have Forcible Pitch Ponder. Then we, or actually no, we play Ponder, right? Yeah, we play Ponder, drawing like Street Wraith. Yeah, okay. Let's try that. I guess it depends on what they do. Counterbalance? Sure. You got it. So I'm going to Ponder here. Bigger chance of them not having 1 drop than them having 1 drop, but we'll see. So they had the 1 drop. Okay. They portent us, maybe? No, they portent themselves. You know what I just thought of? So, terminusing Thassa with an empty library is actually like killing us, right? I think it is. Like, if they terminus, if our library is empty, they Terminus with like Thassa's in play, ability not in the stack. Terminus, Thassa goes on the bottom of our library, so now our library has one card. Yeah, that's actually that's never come up, but that's for sure like the real deal. Okay, so expressive iteration. They'll have to come up with something good here, because they'll be gone next turn. And having tapped the mana they have, you know, they can't like, I don't know, like Hull Breacher us with Street Wraith on the stack or something crazy like that. What was exiled? Ponder? Yeah, okay. So I think this is a game that we very handily lose without Cavern of Souls in the main deck. Alright. So let's fetch. And let's cycle. Name Merfolk. Alright, so we got game 1. That's good. So for game 2, we definitely want the 3 red blasts. I don't hate the Shelldock Emrakul plan. I don't think we want the lightning bolts, and I don't think we want the Strix. Honestly, this is like the Ragavan. I don't know if they saw the Ragavan, if they were looking at our Excel pile. If they weren't, then it might be pretty good. But if they did, probably not. But we just don't have more stuff to bring in. It would be way too speculative to start bringing in random stuff like Plague Engineer for Monastery Mentor or whatever. So they keep 7. I think we have to keep this, right? Wait, hang on. Did I board out Lion's Eye Diamond? I did not. Normally I would board out Lion's Eye Diamond versus Control. Maybe I should have done that. Though this way we have the shot of actually like winning fast. Okay, drawing the 3rd Dark Ritual is pretty awkward, not gonna lie. I'm gonna let them brainstorm here. I kind of want a Pyroblast turn to counterbalance rather than a Brainstorm. They could also have like something like Meddling Mage. Okay, Ponder, sure. I just really want to draw land. If we draw land here, so they shuffle. Yeah, drawing a land here, I'd be kind of happy. Okay. So this is really awkward. It seems patently obvious that they have a red blast. I'm going to do something that is probably not going to pay off, but I'm going to, seeing as we have waited a bit here, we seem weak. And if they only have one counterspell, no, sorry, if they have, yeah, I don't know. I was going to say if they only have one counterspell, we could Dark Ritual, they would counter it, in case they're worried about like Dark Ritual into Thoughtseize. Okay, fuck it. I think I shouldn't have fetched. So I'm going to play this right into the red blast. And pass. And feel pretty crummy. Yeah, no, that was bad. Ah, man, that was a punt. Alright, so we have to really hope to draw like a land. I also am starting to worry that they have like double counter now, having cantrip 3 times and not made any play aside from like pyroblasting our spell and land drops. Because they missed their land drop. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna go for Doomsday here. Seeing as we have backup. This is just a surgical extraction, but I think we're at a point where like I'll be discarding anyways. Okay, so hopefully they don't have like surgical, and hopefully even more hopefully we draw land. And if not, then like be nice if we could at least like okay, they shuffle. So they're also missing land drops. Wow, okay. They don't shuffle, so they get their land. Come on, land. Yes. I'm gonna fetch her because I want to put like Shelldock on top, and we actually want all 5 cards for that. They have Fluster, we'll Fluster back. Okay. So they have... Oof. I hope this doesn't mean that they're like ballers and they have like a Fluster in hand and they just want to get both of our spells. But I think I value having the Pyroblast more than having the Flusterstorm in hand post Doomsday. Just in case of something like Meddling Mage or whatever. Okay, it resolves. Cool. So, I was going to say I hope they don't go for like back to basics, but looking at their own lands, that would seem a little bit like a rough deal for them. So, let's get a Cavern, get a Thassa, get Emrakul, get Shelldock. And probably I would say probably another Volcanic Island. Just if they actually were to go like they on tab go back to basics, then we're just dead unless we have this option here. So let's put Volcanic, Thassa, Cavern, Volcanic, and Shelldock on top. Our opponent is going off in a bit of a tantrum. Expressive iteration, sure. So playing something for 2, maybe? Sure. Here comes Shelldock. So let's draw Cavern, Thassa, Volcanic. Sure, Mystic Sanctuary. And they put Expressive Iteration on top. It's a 2-drop. It's clever. But there's this, Ender of Worlds kind of thing here. Alright. Got there versus Miracles. Sweet. Alright, I'll be back for round number 3. Round number 3 on the draw. Alright, well, we can't keep this. So let's mulligan. Yeah, let's keep this. I'll probably bottom a land. But it also mulligans to 6. Alternatively, we bottom one of the blue spells that is in Force of Will, as neither of those were particularly good. Actually, maybe we do that just in case we're up against like heavy wastelands or something. Windswept Heath. Sure. This kind of is annoying because it kind of invalidates Ragavan, I guess, but don't think I can really afford to throw away 2 cards. So let's play Tarn and say go. I guess keep the force for their next turn play, which is probably going to be like Knight of the Reliquary or whatever. Thalia. Yeah, I think we counter Thalia, to be honest. And hope they attack. They do. So let's fetch Badlands and Underground Sea here, just so that we're able to, like, if they were to get like Collector Roof into play, so we can't use the treasure, we'd still be able to like hardcast Doomsday. Okay. Prismatic Ending. It's this non-land, right? Boo. Alright. Wasteland, sure. Okay. Right. Interesting, right? That's kind of what we were talking about. Okay. Alright. Okay, so there's Doomsday. I'm going to keep these cards. Going to draw Brainstorm. And yeah. Hopefully they are running kind of out of gas. Would be kind of nice if they didn't have another wasteland. Keeping back the Arbor to chump block or to get in front of Ragavan in case we find red mana. Gadokti, sure. Doesn't really... means we can't force a will, but that's pretty much it. Okay, come on. Let's have a good hit here. Need mana. Don't find mana. Okay, so let's put back Pact of Negation and Ragavan. And let's ponder here. Okay. So, gonna grab the Polluted Delta. And hopefully we can win next turn. Oh no, hang on, wait. I need a Dark Ritual. I don't know, so I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm gonna bolt the Collector Roof. It means that also interesting they're attacking with everything. That means they have a play after their attack step, like a creature. But this, like, bolting the oof means the treasure is on, so that means it doesn't hurt so much that we fetched Volcanic. And it also means that we just get to win now, unless they have Endurance. And even if they have Endurance, there is a chance that we get, that like if they mistime it, that we can pact it. Alright, so let's seeing as we have Thassa already in hand, that's why we so like normally the Brainstorm with 1 blue mana open and a card in hand means we don't get to put disruptions to the pile, but because one of the cards that needs to be in the pile is already in our hand, we can swap that slot with the Pact of Negation. So I'm just gonna put Alliance at Diamond and Ideas Unbound and Street Wraith and Lotus Petal and then Pact of Negation. If they have Endurance, that means they get the chance to blow us out. Petal and Pact, and then these 3. But they need to know when to pull the trigger on the Endurance. Can't be now, because then we still win. Only 1 card in the graveyard. It has to be with either the Street Wraith cycling ability on the stack or with the Ideas Unbound on the stack. If they wait until like we draw everything, then we have the Pact. And they're pausing right now. I hope it's because they're looking through the deck and not because they actually have Endurance and are thinking about whether or not to use it. Alright, so we put back Thassa and then Ideas. Okay, so now's their first chance to use the Endurance. Now's their last chance to use the Endurance. And looks like they don't have it, or they misplayed. Okay, they concede, so they didn't have Endurance. Alright, well. So I think I kind of want all the removal spells. It does mean we're going to be way less of a Doomsday deck than I normally feel good about, but let's see here. We can lose the Strix, lose the Thoughtseizes. That means we only have to cut 2 cards. So maybe we cut 2 Ragavan? Is that unreasonable? Maybe like cut 1 Ragavan and 1 Daze on the draw? Actually, you know what? I also don't really want Flusterstorm in here, so I somehow just managed to convince myself to keep in all for Ragavan. Monkey be temptin'. Alright. I think I'm keeping this. They mulled a 6, although like having the LED and the second Doomsday is pretty awkward. But I think it's probably fine. Okay, so they keep 6. Okay, they're on black as well. Thoughtseize. Okay. So if I'm them, I'm probably taking Ponder here. If they're taking Force of Will, that feels a bit more sinister. They could take Doomsday and then Surgical, and that would mean that we have to force, which means they lose 2 cards and we lose 3 cards. So that's a pretty profitable exchange for them. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, okay. They take the Ponder. Makes sense. Leaving this hand very sort of at the mercy of the top of our deck. And yeah, drawing a land's not the worst. Actually, oh no, hang on. I was gonna say I should probably play out the LED because it might prompt them to like spend a turn like prismatic ending it or whatever. Okay, Thalia. So we draw Dark Ritual. We get to Plague Man here. We don't. Gonna play out the LED. Wow, 3 Doomsday. It's pretty awkward. Really hope they don't have Wasteland, but you know, if they do, so be it. Night of Autumn. What do you do here? Probably kill the LED. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really think that's going to end up mattering for us, and it means that this could have been a 4, no, a 3-2, right? No, 2, it could have been a 4-3. Alright, I'm going to pass. I'm going to let them attack us with their 2 creatures. Hopefully they'll make a third creature. And then I'm going to dash Ragavan. And... uh-oh. Yikes. What's this? Natural order? Oh, okay, never mind. They're just drawing a card. Okay. So they swing in with both. I think they have to chump block the Ragavan here. Yeah. And then we get to the same next turn. Hopefully. Oh. So, Ragavan hits. Alright. I'm kind of happy they didn't draw that Thoughtseize. Because it means Plague Engineer gets to come down next turn, unless they Wasteland us or had another Thoughtseize anyways. Oh, bummer. They had the Wasteland. Okay. We can still draw land. I think if we draw a land, we have a good chance at stabilizing here. Okay, so they forgo the 1 extra damage. It would have been a Thalia attacked in order to be able to have a viable chump blocker for Ragavan. So come on, land. No! Okay, gonna pass, gonna discard Doomsday. I think we have 1 more turn to draw land before this game gets away from us. Okay, so I think them attacking like this means they have another creature to play, so we will... Yeah, okay. Come on, land. So what happens if we... No, I think no matter what happens here, we're dead, right? Let's say we pass turn, they attack us down to 1. And then we hit a land, so we clear the Hierarch and Thalia. They still get to connect with either one or the other. Okay, so that Wasteland was very clutch. Would we have drawn another land? No, we would not. We only play 16 lands, so, you know, it's not something to complain too much about, I think. Alright, so maybe add the Daze. Maybe take out the... I don't know. What do we take out? I think actually the Daze is fine. Nah. Alright, screw it. Let's remove a Lotus Petal. That means there are certain piles we're not able to make with Ideas Unbound, but I'm okay with that. I'll keep this reluctantly. They mulligan to 6. I say reluctantly because, again, we're on one land. We have Thassa, which is almost like a mulligan, but we do have Brainstorm to repair this hand. And we also do have the Doomsday in hand, so there have been worse keeps of 7. So I'm just going to play this and pass, and if they go turn 1 Thoughtseize, I'll probably Street Wraith and then Brainstorm. Though I could also just Daze it. I'm not going to Daze this. I'm not going to set myself back the land drop. So if they go turn 1 creature like Noble Hierarch, I wonder if I'm supposed to Fatal Push it. Looks like it's Thoughtseize time. Yeah, I'm gonna cycle here. And we get Volcanic Island and Brainstorm. Hope to hit a land. Yes, please. Okay, so let's put back Doomsday and Ragavan. I wonder how I was actually even supposed to Daze here, but probably not right. So, I suppose if they have Surgical, they might be tempted into like going for Thassa then Surgical. Okay, so they go for Daze. I think this hand has to be somewhat awkward for them. So I am just going to play the Ragavan, not dash it. Because I think the Fatal Push means that they can't play a meaningful creature that blocks Ragavan this like next turn, and also kill him. So they can either kill him or play creature, I guess. And if they plow him, I mean, that's annoying, but we're drawing Doomsday, and then we can ponder. And we have push for, the first card, first creature that they play that we worry about. Wow, okay. So this means they're not doing anything else this turn. Let's see what they get. I'd be kind of bummed with Wasteland, but at the same time, I mean, Ragavan is going to be making a treasure. There's Wasteland. Okay. Yeah, let's just go ahead and attack. Let's see what we exile. No, I don't think I'll be playing Thalia. Thank you very much. I think I will play Doomsday, right? I mean, it sucks if they... No, it doesn't just suck. It is terrible if they have another Thoughtseize. But they chose to Once Upon a Time rather than Thoughtseize last turn. So... Let's draw Street Wraith. I mean, next turn they'll Wasteland us. So probably we can afford to draw Thoughtseize, or sorry, to like play Ideas Unbound, Pact of Negation, Lotus Petal, and the Street Wraith. Maybe we take a Bolt also as removal, just in case it comes up. So something like this seems about right. No. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Okay. Concede the game, I guess. Jesus. That was unpleasant. So we put in a Bolt. Actually, let's not concede. Let's not concede. We might Ragavan into a creature. They're only at 14 life, 12 after this, and there's a Bolt in our pile. Noble Hierarch, sure. Okay, so let's cast this. Let's attack. Wouldn't mind hitting like Knight of the Reliquary here. Or that guy, what's he? He's a Naga Cleric. Okay. Let's go green, black. We're probably not going to make this because, like, they are likely to be able to play, like, a creature return or something. And we didn't, like, I didn't stack the pile properly, so the Bolt is not for a few turns. Okay, well... let's say this attacks. Go to 8, we draw 2 cards left. This attacks, go to 6, we draw 1 card left. This attacks, go to 4. This seems very much like a stretch. Oh god, I can't remember where I put the Bolt. I think I'm not going to attack with Ragavan yet. Oh, I should have replayed the Underground Sea. Ugh. Yeah, not used to playing with Ramonap Excavator. Okay, so Ragavan gets bounced. Let's see if they see that. Okay. So I think if they chump at any point, we just lose. Uh, so I think the last two cards of our deck are Lightning Bolt and Lotus Petal. So I think I'm gonna keep Ragavan in hand, and maybe they'll forget about him or something, and tap their Caracas. But I guess if they're tapping their Caracas, it means it's because they're casting something scary. Well, there's the bolts. So they have to, like, they can just look at our Excel file and see that we have, like, 3 bolts there. And they're not attacking with their Arbor, so not really sure if they're not going to block what they're doing. Man, why couldn't this have been, like, a knight? Is this endurance? I think it's endurance. Alright, it looks as though they're letting us take it all the way. So, hope that they somehow deal themselves 1 point of damage from like a bolt or something. Not a bolt, I mean a fetch. Well, they don't, because... Alright. Alright, let's play a few things here. We risk, like, wiping to a Mindbreak Trap here, but I don't know, I think they don't have Mindbreak Trap, and I think I just want to, like, confuse them here. I should have dashed, that's what I should have done. Alright. Don't block, please. No! Fair enough. Alright. Gonna pass. Hope they fetch. What's this? 4 mana? Force of Vigor. Okay, I'm gonna Pact of Negation that. Okay. Come on. Crack that fetch land, baby. What? Nah. All right, they got us. Oh, too bad. Too bad. That was a the seldom seen lose because you had Thassa's Oracle in hand after casting Doomsday. All right, back for round number 4. All right, on the draw for round number 4, I'm gonna keep this hand. Tasty hand, not too crazy, but pretty good. Kind of sad if they go turn 1 Chalice, but okay. They did not. I'm gonna pass here just to hold up my options. Don't want to like ponder, not find Daze or Force, and then they like go for a turn 2 Doomsday or turn 2 Show and Tell, or I don't know, whatever. Okay, they go for a turn 2 Ponder. So I think if all else fails, well, no, that's the wrong expression, but unless I draw something really good, like maybe Dark Ritual, I think I'm probably gonna untap and cast Brainstorm after making my land drop, and because I kind of feel like this Pact of Negation might not be needed in the hand, could be replaced by something better. They don't shuffle. Bloodstainmire, okay. Guessing this is the mirror or some kind of combo deck. Daze is not the worst pickup. Okay. Dark Ritual is good. So we're going to put back the 2 red cards here and pass turn. I'd be very unpleasantly surprised if they were to wasteland me here. Taiga. Is this madness? Veil of Summer. Yikes. I'm scared now. I'm gonna daze this. So I feel like at worst they're gonna probably cycle it. Because they... Hopefully this stops whatever they're trying to do. This is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Okay. So I'm gonna let Veil resolve here, at the risk of them going like petal petal, kill you. What is this? Is this Tess? Yeah, I guess it's Tess. Makes sense. So maybe we are dead. Like if they have Echo of Aeons in hand or something. If they get to Echo of Aeons, we probably lose. If they don't, we probably win. At least that's sort of my assessment here. They could also win in other ways, but okay, so they don't. Alright. Get the standard pile here. Lines of Diamond, Lotus Petal, Thassa Oracle, the Cycler, and Ideas Unbound. The most standard of standard piles. Petal and Oracle go on the bottom, and the rest in no particular order. Let's put Pact and then Ideas. So that the card, for anyone who's not familiar, the card you put below the Ideas Unbound is the card you'll end up with in your hand when you put Thassa Oracle in the stack. So if you have Pact of Negation or Daze, those are usually pretty good sort of picks. It won't matter against Test Game 1. And you could argue in this situation because of, like, they have no untapped mana. It wouldn't have mattered, period, but yeah. Alright, so we don't really have a lot to bring in, which basically means we don't really have anything. Honestly, like, Lightning Bolt, I think, is more of a card than Baleful Strix, but I could be wrong. And I've been told that lately that Tess has started to run like Silence. So, because I think they feel like this is a really bad matchup for them. And it probably is, especially if they're up against the list that runs for Force of Negation in the sideboard. But we don't. So I think it's a little bit less bad for them. Alright. Can't keep this, obviously, so I'm gonna mull. Yeah, gonna keep this. And what? Probably dump one of the Strix. We really need to hit a land, and preferably a red one. Was not a red one. I'm gonna Thoughtseize here. It's pretty, it's fairly likely they could have Veil. If they do, so be it. I don't think the Thoughtseize is doing anything else for us, and as such, Yep, there's the Trop for Veil. Yep. Alright. That's it's pretty bad for us, but I still feel like they can only have four Veil, so they're left less than 50% to have it in their opening hand. So the question is, if we get a red mana, if we dash Ragavan, like hitting one of their discard spells, or even like just, I don't know, whatever. Okay, well, we didn't hit discard. Oh, it's our red mana. Let's see if we can now. How do we want to do this? I think we want to draw Thoughtseize. Then next turn draw Force, and then Petal to like get Ragavan in. Okay, let's try it. I mean, it's really awkward if they have second Veil, which they could have, seeing as they are not making any plays. But if they have another Veil, then having the Force doesn't really matter either. So, just getting murdered here by Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer, it's not really doing a lot outside of TES, but it is very good there. I'd kind of expect to be, for them to have something to do here. Okay. They just pass. Interesting. Okay. So I'm gonna trying to force at least is something. I think I'm gonna dash in Ragavan here, just because it is nice to sort of get going, and he replaces the petal every turn. If they have removal for him, though, it's a little bit, sad panda. Ponder, yes, please. I mean, I think I kind of want these cards. So let's. I mean, taking the Daze, it seems pretty unlikely that we're gonna. Like, the Daze is gonna matter here, but at least it's not a dead card. They just pass again. I'm thinking they have, like, something that it disrupts Doomsday in hand, because they're like, what else are they doing over there? Is this the time where we hardcast Ragavan? Hardcast, I mean, cast him regularly. So we miss out on a turn of damage, and no, I think I'm actually just I'm gonna dash him, and I'm gonna sack the treasure so that I'm able to draw the Doomsday that's on top of my deck if I want to. Ad nauseum. Ha! Huh. This is fun. Do we want to play this? It'll cost us a dark ritual. Our deck is not an ad nauseum deck, so like, and basically like it has to be this turn, so we will have to discard down hand size. So what's the best we can hope for? It's like, hmm. Sure, why not? Um, so do we want to draw into the Doomsday? No, tell you what, let's not draw this. It's good enough for me that this is out of their deck. There's also a world where we like ad nauseum down to not very much life, and they have tendrils in their hand, and are able to go like ritual, like Mox Opal tendrils, and we die. Do I even want to draw the Doomsday? Like, it feels pretty obvious to me that they're either sitting on like 7 lands, which they aren't, or they're sitting on something that doesn't really that isn't really able to combat Ragavan, but is able to combat Doomsday. You know what? Crazy as it might sound, I think I'm gonna fetch here, fetch away the Doomsday. Brainstorm is nice. Okay, now I think it is when I take the turn off. Hope we don't die here. So we can force Bitch Bird, Daze, and we also have the ability to Brainstorm and hope to hit either one of the remaining 3 Force of Wills or our Flusterstorm. Play Petal. Maybe just to not discard, or because they're making a move here. Let's see. Okay. I really wonder what's in their hand. Okay, we exile the Taiga. It's not too exciting. Okay, I'm gonna Brainstorm here. Get rid of that Dark Ritual. And the land. Okay. Gonna ponder. Ooh, excellent. Let's get rid of this, or draw this Force of Will. Let's play this to make it a 4-turn clock rather than a 6-turn clock. Seeing as we now have double force anyways. And by 4-turn clock, I guess I should mean because we have the bolt, so the math changes a bit, but maybe they're just drawing really poorly. So, like, empty the warrens would be a big concern here. That would kind of more or less completely nullify what we've been doing. Or, like, the kind of game that we've been building up towards. I'm gonna let this happen. Like, we can't really stop and empty the warrens no matter what we do here, so better to hope they just don't have it. We're ready to... This could be like Galvanic Relay, which we also can't really stop. Sure. This could also be Tendrils, which is also quite scary. They need like 2... It can't be Tendrils to kill us, I don't think. Because they only have 2 cards in hand, so one more spell is like Storm 7, and then the Tendrils Storm 8, so that would that would take us down to 2. So, I mean, if their last card in hand is Tendrils, and we force will this Burning Wish, we die. But if their last card in hand is Tendrils, and we don't force will this Burning Wish, we also die, because then you just get like, whatever. So, damned if we do and damned if we don't, I think. Best we can hope for is that it's like Veil of Summer or something. Okay, so it is tendrils. So all we can hope for here is to... Well, I was going to say Brainstorm and hit Flusterstorm, but then they can still pay for 1 copy, 2 copy, 3, 6, 7. They could, yeah, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to Brainstorm just for the fun of it. We do hit the Flusterstorm. Does that change anything? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 copies. And we're at 17, so 9 copies is 19 damage. 9 copies is 18 damage. So let's say we Flusterstorm. It's 11 mana, and they have 1 floating, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 11. They have exactly 11, but then we Daze 1, so we were at 1 life, I think. So I think we live. Let's toss everything at this one. Weird. We're going to be at 1, so Force of Will can never be can only be hard cast. So I guess actually, yeah, no, never mind. We should be good here. If they pay for like every single copy, they'll be tapped out, and then we can Daze one of the copies. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I counted 1 mana floating, 2 from the Trop, 3 from Petal, 6 from LED, 7 from Petal, 8 from Opal, 11 from Petal, from LED, and then the Chromox is not imprinted with anything. Sick. And we don't have any way to gain life. They'll be at like what? 27 life, I think. Wait, what's going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they're just okay. I think maybe they misclicked. So we're just dropping to 1. Okay. We didn't have to Daze. There's a dead fetch land. So luckily, Monkey Boy is going to get us the treasures we need to be able to hardcast Force of Will. What's the worst that could happen if they... No, I think we can't afford to play this Wish Claw. I think it's better to have untap to have Force of Will hardcast in case they like draw Burning Wish. Or like Echo of Aeons. Sure, why not? Draw some bolts. Bolts are good. So they're on a 7-6-5 turn clock right now. Not loving this, but I suppose it could be worse. Dark Ritual, sure. Not Galvanic Relay. Wishclaw Talisman. I mean, I think we're sort of prized into forcing this. Oops. I'd really love to see a Ponder. Or, I was going to say like a Burning Wish, but I don't think I have a sorcery that I want to cast in the sideboard. Yeah, I mean, why not? We have Metalcraft. Come on, don't draw anything nasty. Oof. Scary. This is a crazy game. Wishclaw. Well, that probably means we die. What we could hope that they do is to like go for Echo of Aeons with the Wishclaw. But I guess they would have not sacked the LEDs here. So they go for Galvanic Relay probably. Or if they have Empty the Warrens, they go for that, which would be Burning Wish. Burning Wish for Grape Shot, I guess. I think in either case they have us here. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's go to game number 3. I think it's probably fine like this. So I think I was wrong. I don't think they had anything in their hand, right? That would actually interact with Doomsday. So, yeah, food for thought. All right. Yeah, let's keep this. Ponder, looking for Dark Ritual, I think, is the order of the day. Cavern is a little bit awkward, but yeah, what you gonna do? They also kept 7. So I suppose I am supposed to keep this. Probably. So I'm gonna go for like keeping Ponder and then drawing Underground Sea. It's a little bit. It sucks if we have to double force. We lose the Ponder. But the other way around, if we like went for Flusterstorm here and then drew the Ponder, and then Ponder shows us like the Underground Sea we know is there, and then like 2 other non-fetch lands or whatever, it's a little bit awkward. So we want 1 fetch land, like 1 land here, but probably not a lot more. Yeah, yeah, we don't want this. The Flusterstorm would have been nice, but yeah, okay. So if nothing really happens here, I'm gonna probably make Cavern on Monkey. Okay, so something is happening here. Chromox imprinting what? Rite of Flame, sure. Okay. Steep way to play around Daze. I don't think I don't think I'm dazing a Brainstorm anyways. But maybe they have like Pyroblast or something. Though again, I'm not sure. Never mind. I don't know. So if we were to draw like a fetch land or a sea or a Badlands, I think we just go for Doomsday with Daze plus Force backup. So the Daze is potentially awkward because if we want to put like Ideas Unbound on top and have, Cavern of Souls as the way we win, then we can't really Daze. Petal, sure. Sure. This seems like... Okay. Never mind. Just pass? Wish Claw. Okay, so I'm gonna Daze this. And if they choose to pay with LED, then we force a Will the Wish Claw, I think. Okay, that felt like pretty advantageous to us. Okay, gonna put Cavern on. Why don't we say Pirate? And I'm gonna dash in Ragavan. This way we can Doomsday next turn off of the Treasure and the Underground Sea in hand if we want to. We might also hit a cantrip here and then go looking for a second blue card. Well, can't cast that. I don't think I have a sorcery in the sideboard, right? No, so it doesn't matter. Defense grid. So if they have Echo of Aeons here, it's pretty bad. If they don't, then, if they just pass, then we're fine. Because, well, can we just win here? No, we can't. So we have to, we can't win here because the Cavern doesn't let us cast Baleful Strix. But what we can do is cast Ragavan like so, and then pass with Force of Will up, and then probably win next turn. They have 2 cards in hand, so 3 with the one they draw. Hopefully that's not enough to get it done through force, but it could be because they have all the mana they need. Okay, so they're just passing. Okay. So I think we go for it here. Or do we? It's hard to say, to be honest. Because if they have, like, let's say they have Pyroblast, then that beats us, I think. I suppose we could go for Doomsday. And then have 1 force to back it up. What if we get 1 more mana next turn, so we have 5 plus the Cavern? So we go Dark Ritual Doomsday plus Strix. That's 1, and then 2 more. So we would have like another treasure at that point. So we would have Xaxes. Yeah, I think I like that better. Did we sign out the pact? We did not. I think I'm going to pass 1 more time. It's risky because this is the one turn where we can't do, like, we can still only protect ourselves with 1 force. Okay, so this should, yeah, because the Brainstorm means, yeah, no, now we should be fine. I'm not gonna ponder. Well, at least not now. I'm gonna ponder in a second. So I'm gonna ponder into Ideas Unbound. Draw Thassa, Pact of Negation, Street Wraith, and Lotus Petal. Maybe we don't even need Lotus Petal. Ponder off the sea. Okay, so we do need Lotus Petal. But this means we have Pact plus double force, so pretty neato. Pay green mana. So I mean, I feel like I should be like countering this. But at the same time, like, they have defense grid, so they can't cast anything after this. You know what? Just to feel safe, I'm gonna daze this. So if they want to pay for that, they'll have to sack the LED, and they won't have anything in their hand. And we'll know if they somehow discard something and we can cast from the graveyard for 3 mana. But I don't think we can lose this. Tendrils, Veil, Wishclaw. Okay. So now they have 2 mana. So they draw something off of Veil. Honestly, I just want to see if there's something they can draw. I'm not going to force this. They could draw like Flusterstorm, I guess. But they can't cast it, so it doesn't matter. We may as well just pass the turn here. Not pass the turn. No, 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 no. Oh my goodness. I'm post-combat. And now I have to... Okay, no, I don't have to do anything. I thought I had cast the Ideas Unbound. But, geez, I might just have lost now. I had it in my head that it was my first main phase, and I just wanted to empty their mana pool. So, if they drew something interesting here, they have 2 cards. I can only cast 1 Force of Will because of the defense grid. What a shit show. I'm playing terribly. Okay, it looks as though we're getting away with it. So let's not even do anything fancy here. Let's just cast Ideas Unbound with double force and pack back up. Get to the friendly merfolk and play it. Let's just pact. Yep. Oops. All right. So we got there. Sweet. Let's go for round number 5. All right, on the play for round number 5. Think this is probably a suspicious keep, but I think I am going to keep on the strength of the Brainstorm. Opponent mulligans to 6. Alright, so gonna drop the Underground Sea and pass. There was a world where we're supposed to brainstorm in our turn in case our opponent is on Daze and just go land, go, or whatever. Or just somehow like suspect that dazing our turn 2 main phase brainstorm might be worth it in case we don't draw another land. Oh no. Black, red, Reanimator. What did they exile? Made dead. So, I'm gonna brainstorm here. And so, I am going to... I'm actually going to hide Force of Will. Because, I mean, if we don't hide it, they take it, they combo off. If we do hide it and they combo off, it's the same outcome. But if they can't combo off, this way we get to draw it and have it next turn. They might be scratching their heads about, seeing the Lines of Diamond, Ragavan, Ideas Unbound hand here, but yeah. They could go like Ragavan and then reanimate, but we have the Bolt and the second like Ragavan, so. Okay. And they can't combo off. Wow, that's big. Huge, as they say. I think I'm going to not dash the old Raxter, but just play him. To have mana open for future turns. There's an interesting tension there, I have to say, with Ragavan. So if they go end of turn Entomb, I'm just going to snap Force of Will that. Okay. There's a play I really want to make with Ragavan against Black-Red Reanimator, and that is when they have something in the graveyard and you then hit one of their animate spells. So you get to reanimate. And of course, it can't be Exhume. Daze is a decent pickup there, I have to say. Well, there's an Entomb. I don't think there's any card I wanted to have in my graveyard, so I'm just gonna pass here. 9-turn clock does seem a bit too slow though for old Raxter, but I guess make that a 7-turn clock because we also have the bolt, but still. Might just be too optimistic to think that we can like ride Ragavan into the sunset here, but we'll see. What was discarded? Or exile Dark Ritual. So we can either force this, or we can, try to get cheeky and hope to hit, which I am going to. Okay, so they're going to discard Gristlebrand. And so they would drop to 9, so there's no way they would draw. So we have to just force this, obviously. So their hand is now Dark Ritual. We aren't too far away from being able to just pay for a Pact here. But let's see. Come on, hit, reanimate, or animate dead. Come on, come on, come on. So I am gonna Thoughtseize them. Just because it means if they draw like Exhume or Animate Dead, I guess at least Daze would postpone that for 1 turn anyways. But so the only live draw they have here is actual Reanimate, which they don't get. So this is pretty big. This means now, okay, so even more so with the land, but because Ragavan makes a treasure, it means our Pact is live. Not gonna cast Exhume. Yeah, don't think we can really profitably do anything about that. They'll take the Pact of Negation, and that leaves us somewhat naked. I mean, I think Doomsday just wins us the game as well, because then even if they reanimate, oh, they take Daze. That's really interesting. Other land is not really cutting the mustard here. Come on. I so want to reanimate their Gristlebrand. Oh, this must be a terrible feeling for them. I've been on the receiving end of just like endless Ragavan attacks. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Come again. Yeah, why don't we just draw 7? No Doomsday. Yeah, you know what? This is fine. Force of Will plus lethal damage next turn, plus Pact of Negation should get us there. Sweet. I mean, eventually we would have enough mana to actually just steal whichever creature we exile with Ragavan. Alright, so not really anything we can bring in here. Maybe the 2 lightning bolts could end up mattering. Maybe not 2, maybe 1 to come in over like a Baleful Strix. I'm not sure. Both cards seem kind of impoverished, if you know what I mean. So really interested to see how this Ragavan list sort of picks up for me, like, or if it does, like if it's something I'm going to stick with. I do feel kind of in a bit of a clinch because like Ragavans are just incredibly expensive, and if he gets banned, that's a lot of sort of money you're out. Okay, but anyways, this is close, but I don't think we can keep this. Opponent kept 7, which is kind of scary. Yeah, let's keep this. Bottom land. Hope they don't have Chancellor. They don't. I'd really love to not have to ditch this Brainstorm. So hope they don't do anything crazy on turn 1. Faithless Looting. So I don't think I can Force of Will this. I don't know if they're actually hitting anything here. Like if they're actually putting a fatty into the bin. And I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to, but the thought of starting with 4 lands or like 3 lands in the pedal, starting the game that way, that feels also like a game I'm gonna lose. So, and they didn't put a fatty into the yard, so awesome. Okay, I'm gonna play pedal and a fetch land here, because maybe it's worth it to 2-for-1 ourselves to get a good Brainstorm. I'm not sure. Maybe less so, drawing the Daze. They have Santa Swarm, maybe? Unmask. So I think I'm going to let them unmask us here. They have 3 cards in hand, and they will have to leave us with either a Force of Will or a Daze. So hopefully that'll be good enough. Truth be told, they might actually just end up taking Brainstorm here. Okay. No, they don't. I mean, I'm not going to say no to Ragavan. And this does feel like a dashed Ragavan. Maybe we hit like a Thoughtseize or something. Oh, they're pausing. Maybe they have like Decay. Oh no. Well, I don't think it's worth it, like losing our Brainstorm to maybe find Street Wraith to cycle it to reanimate it, but that would have been a pretty cool play. So my guess is they're going for their 3rd land to flash back a Faithless Looting. Okay, or just like cast a Faithless Looting. They know about the Force of Will, so what's their plan here? So, oof, still no fatty to put in the yard. Okay, so let's actually cast the Brainstorm here. Right. So this is where I think I just cast Ragavan to actually start generating mana. Eventually, next turn we'll be able to hard cast the Force of Will and pitch the other one. Hopefully all they do is just tap out to flashback Faithless Looting. Yep. Don't think they'll be getting through being tapped out with 3 cards in hand here. So feel pretty good about getting the second, getting our turn. And is this where we get to rip a discard spell from them, a reanimate spell from them one more time? Did we even show them Doomsday or anything? They saw our Ideas Unbound in LED. Oof. Like drawing another land isn't the best. Okay. Bummer. Yeah, sure. I mean, eventually they'll get to probably 1 or 2 reanimate spells. Ragavan. So I'd like to draw eventually like Flusterstorm or something. Yep, that's not good. So I think I'm gonna sacrifice 2 treasures in order to keep the fetch line around, just in case I draw a a Brainstorm. I wonder what they're sitting on in hand. Another case, I'd really love to draw a blue card on this next draw step so that I can have Hardcast Force and Force Pitch blue card. Ooh, okay, well, no such thing here. So now our defenses are completely down. I hope they don't have a third discard spell. Reanimate spells. I don't know why I keep saying discard spell. Daze is not terrible, but it does, like, require them to fumble, like, cast something for 1 mana and then a 2 mana spell. Chromox, I don't think is gonna cut it here. Okay, they have it. I think if they flashback looting here, I am gonna Daze, because I don't think this Daze is gonna do anything else. I mean, yeah. I do wonder what they're sitting on in their hand. Ooh, Bolt is certainly not irrelevant. Bolt means Reanimate is off the table. It was already off the table for Griselbrand, but they could Reanimate Chancellor before and dropped 1. Is there any merit to casting Entomb to thin our deck? That seems like almost like a waste of time, but sure, why not? Let's get one of those Underground Seas out. Okay, so they're down to 1 Exhume and I guess 3 or 4 Animate Dead. So any fatty we exile with Ragavan, we can just play. Huh, that just destroys enchantments, so... They're halfway through their deck and they haven't seen an enemy dead. Seems a bit unlikely. Maybe they could hardcast Griselbrand now if they have Dark Ritual. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this just kills them unless they can put a creature into play, because now we bolt them down to 3 and they lose 2 life to their Thoughtseize. Yep. Unless they have removal for this guy. All right, boom, we got there. Decent 4-1. Sad that we lost that Maverick deck, but it happens. Yeah, I'm pretty much digging this list, I have to say. It's a lot of fun, at least. I won't go too far down the rabbit hole of trying to determine whether or not it's actually worth the trouble or not. I'll have to play some more. But I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and subscribe and all that stuff. And I will be back with some more Legacy. Bye bye.